We also, as a nation, pray for the quick recovery of those undergoing treatment, as we condole with the families and friends of the 6 that have regrettably lost their lives to this pandemic. This virus is unforgiving, and its rate of growth, if not arrested, is exponential. Yet because it cannot be smelt, it is an enemy that can easily convince you that life can continue as normal. While the majority of people who get it recover, most without showing severe symptoms, if this disease spreads to larger numbers, it can lead to unprecedented pressure on our medical facilities, which may lead to an equally unprecedented loss of life. Therefore, I will go to any length, any lawful length, to respond to COVID-19. Fellow Kenyans, governments all over the world, including our own, are taking unprecedented steps to arrest the spread of this pandemic and indeed to flatten the curve of its spread. Different measures are being taken across the globe, depending on every country's unique circumstances. But what is clear from experiences around the world is that the pandemic is likely to continue spreading with lethal effect without decisive action. So, fellow Kenyans, there is a choice that we are asked to make as a government and to make as a people. Do we carry on as normal, or treat this like an extraordinary emergency, which it is, and fundamentally change the way we act and behave? I believe we must choose the latter, because even as we pray for the best, we must be ready for the worst. It is in moments like this that the character of a people and the destiny of a nation is truly clarified. Fellow Kenyans, today we are being called upon by our children and our children's children to show the greatness in us by how we respond to this virus. If we act, as I believe we should, like the fingers folded into a fist, we can stop the damage that this pandemic can cause to our nation. Our greatness will not be revealed by soldiers in uniform this time. It will show in the sacrifices that we make to protect one another. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, wearing your mask and washing hands does indeed save lives. The bravery and dedication of our medical personnel, should this pandemic continue to escalate, will truly demonstrate the mettle of our nation. And I indeed have faith in Kenyans. I know how we struggle through pain and tears to be there for our families. But now it is our time to turn out for the duration of this global pandemic. We must turn out for our country by taking the following measures as I have said severally, as simple as they may be, and we must stick to them. We must endeavor to wear masks when we are amongst our people. We must clean our hands with soap for at least 20 seconds and do so several times a day. We must continue to avoid all areas with people who will be closer to you than 1.5 meters. We must, I repeat, heed and comply with government directives. We must take extra care not to expose those who are over 58 years and also to our brothers and sisters who are suffering from various chronic ailments. So, fellow Kenyans, having received advice from our medical professionals and experts, today we do say that Kenyans should wear masks while in public places. I know that there will be thousands of tailors from all over the country who will also look to make these masks, and we encourage them to do so. The Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Industry and Trade will endeavor to ensure that all these tailors are provided with the right information through the national government administrative officers on the kind of materials required and the proper method of piecing the fabrics together to make the face masks and to ensure that they are effective. Their success, however, will need all of us as individual citizens to comply with the different directives, and we as a people to be united. This virus is in nearly all countries and territories on the globe. This virus does not care about your religion. It does not care about the color of your skin, the tribe you come from, or the size of your wallet. It is not infecting members of one tribe while staying away from another. So therefore, defeating it will require all of us to put aside our usual differences and to face the enemy standing side by side. Our unity is demonstrated and will be demonstrated by each Kenyan going the extra mile to ensure that our personal conduct does not endanger others. It will show in the decisions by business owners to do their utmost to support their employees. Fellow Kenyans, make no mistake, we are at war, and we must be together if we shall win this war. I recognize once again the good work being done by our Ministry of Health, and indeed all government ministries and departments in the current fight. But I believe that we must escalate our response even more in order to safeguard our nation. As you are aware, the spread of COVID-19 is through human contact. On the declaration of the global health emergency, in accordance with the World Health Organization guidelines, we did as a country enhance surveillance at all points of entry into our country to avert contact with the disease. Unfortunately, notwithstanding our interventions that included the closure of Kenyan airspace and mandatory quarantine of all inbound passengers, the few persons who had contracted the disease from abroad transmitted it locally. So therefore, a majority of the persons who have contracted the disease are residents of the Nairobi metropolitan area and the counties of Kilifi, Kwale, and Mombasa. The few confirmed cases outside Nairobi and the counties of Kilifi, Kwale, and Mombasa can be traced to persons who have either traveled from our nation's capital or from those three counties that I have mentioned. In that regard, and in order to halt this worrying trend, the Cabinet Secretary of Health issued declarations under the Public Health Act in which COVID-19 was declared a notifiable disease and a formidable epidemic disease. Therefore, fully conscious that 82% of Kenya's reported cases of COVID-19 have been in respect of residents of the Nairobi metropolitan area, and B, that 14% of Kenya's reported cases of COVID-19 have been in respect of residents of Kilifi, Kwale, and Mombasa, the Cabinet Secretary for Health has further declared the Nairobi metropolitan area and the counties of Kilifi, Kwale, and Mombasa as COVID-19 infected areas. Accordingly, to contain and limit the spread of the disease to other parts of the country, the National Security Council has sanctioned and caused the issuance of the following additional measures. Number one, that there shall be cessation of all movement by road, rail, or air in and out of A, the Nairobi metropolitan area, and B, the counties of Kilifi, Kwale, and Mombasa. Number two, the cessation of movement within the Nairobi metropolitan area shall be for an initial containment period of 21 days with effect from 7 p.m. Monday, the 6th of April, 2020. That is today. And three, that the cessation of movement within the counties of Kilifi, Kwale, and Mombasa shall be for an initial containment period of 21 days with effect from 7 p.m. on Wednesday, the 8th of April, 2020. In the intervening period, movement in and out of the coastal strip shall be limited. 4, the Nairobi metropolitan area is designated as follows: the Nairobi City County, part of Kiambu County up to Chania River Bridge, Thika, including Rironi, Dedero, Kiambu Town, part of Machakos County up to Athi River, including Katani, part of Kajiado County, including Kitengela, Kiserian, Ongata Rongai, Ngong Town, and all areas as set out in the order. 5, the counties of Kilifi, Kwale, and Mombasa. 6, any person, passenger carrying bicycles, motorcycles, scooters, automobiles, vehicles, vessels, railway wagons, or aircraft shall not be allowed in and out of the Nairobi metropolitan area and the counties of Kilifi, Kwale, and Mombasa. 7, the movement of food supplies and other cargo will continue as normal during the declared containment period through road, rail, and air. Number 8, any cargo carrying vehicle or vessel shall be assigned a single driver and designated assistants whom in whichever case shall not exceed 3 persons. All such designated persons must be notified in writing by the owner or operator of the said vehicle or vessel with reference to that vehicle or vessel. So all owners and operators of vehicles will be required to notify the authorities of the driver and the said assistance. Number 9, these additional measures do not in any way vary the existing restrictions and measures, including the daily nationwide curfew from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the entire territory of the Republic of Kenya. Fellow Kenyans, I issue these enhanced measures well aware that they will complicate and inconvenience many Kenyans. However, by not doing so, this can only lead to even greater suffering for the people of Kenya. I want to take this opportunity to once again thank all Kenyans for their shared understanding, and in the same breath also urge our law enforcement officers and agencies to be mindful and sensitive as they enforce this curfew and the additional measures that we have taken today. However, I must continue to emphasize that we shall remain firm and fair, but we will strictly abide by the dictates of the law. We must together take a stand here before COVID-19 spreads out of control.